Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular council meeting for the City of Dauphin for September the 7th, 2021. We acknowledge that the land on which we gather is Treaty 2 land, traditional territory of the Anishinaabe Cree, Oji-Cree, Assiniboine, Dakota, and Dene peoples, and homeland of the Métis Nation. We affirm our commitment to moving forward in partnership with Indigenous communities in a spirit of collaboration and reconciliation. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Takai. Actually, I will do Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that the regular council meeting agenda be amended as follows. One addition, 11A 7, the Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation Annual General Meeting. That's for September 10th, 2021. We will also delete 9A, compensation request from Councillor Eilers. Any questions, comments there? Call the questions. All in favor? And that's motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Riel. Be it resolved that council accepts the regular council meeting agenda now as amended. Any questions, comments there? Assuming not, so I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by, to change some of these, I guess. Councillor Eilers. Seconded by Councillor Riel. Be it resolved, council waives the reading and accepts and approves as circulated the minutes of the following meeting. That would be the August 9th, 2021 regular council meeting. Any questions, comments there? I'll call the questions. All in favor? And the motion's carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that all items listed under item 5 consent agenda be approved as follows and form part of these minutes. Action items, proclamation, welcoming week. Read that right now. Whereas Welcoming Week is an annual opportunity to promote a spirit of inclusivity and belonging and to build connections between new and longtime residents in our community. And whereas through Welcoming Week, we can celebrate the values that unite us as neighbors, friends, colleagues, regardless of where we come from. And whereas we all have the power to welcome newcomers, help them feel at home in our shared community. And whereas Welcoming Week recognizes the important work of immigrant settlement organizations, including Regional Connections, which provides settlement, employment, language, and community connection services for newcomers to South Central Manitoba. And now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim September 10th to the 19th, 2021 as Welcoming Week. I haven't read a proclamation in a very long time. That's it, right? Okay, just making sure. I did, yes. Be it resolved that council proclaims, actually, let's go to the next one. Whereas 2021 is a year of historical significance for Dauphin, marking the 125th anniversary of the settlement of the new town of Dauphin in 1896. And whereas 1896 saw the founding of Dauphin through a series of historic events, including the designation of the new town as Section 10 on September 9th, the sale of the first lots on October 7th, the laying of railway tracks across Main Street on November 7th, and the dispatch of the first telegram from Dauphin to the outside world on November the 9th. That's a little, interesting there. And whereas 2021 also marks the 100th anniversary of the Main Street pedestrian subway and the 80th anniversary of the British Commonwealth Air Training Plan and the airports at Dauphin and Paulson. And whereas the study and commemoration of the history of our city promotes a spirit of belonging, pride, and identity. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim 2021 as a year to commemorate the anniversary of many great historical events in and around the Dauphin area. Last one here. Whereas Rail Safety Week is to be held across Canada from September 20th to the 26th, 2021, and whereas it is in the public's interest to raise citizens' awareness of the dangers of ignoring safety warnings at level crossings and trespassing on rail property to reduce avoidable deaths, injuries, and damage caused by incidents involving trains and citizens. And whereas Operation Lifesaver is a public-private partnership whose aim is to work with the public, rail industry, governments, police services, media, and others to raise rail safety awareness. And whereas CN has requested that City Council adopt this resolution in support of its ongoing efforts to raise awareness, save lives, and prevent injuries in communities, including our municipality. Now, therefore, we, the Council of the City of Dauphin, do hereby proclaim September 20th to the 26th, 2021 as Rail Safety Week. And there are our 3 proclamations for today. Other items to consent to agenda. As recommended by the Deputy Mayor and the City Manager, outstanding accounts receivable added to taxes, 138 4th Avenue Southwest, $21,458.98. That's for demolition costs. And that's as recommended by the Director of Finance and the Tax Clerk. Under B, filing items, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities News Bulletin for August 27th, Member Advisory supporting municipalities during drought. Number 2, Federation of Canadian Municipalities, FCM Connect for August 17th, 2021. Number 3, Canada, Manitoba news releases, $10 day childcare for families in Manitoba. Province acknowledges Day of for Truth and Reconciliation, that of course on September the 30th. 4, Municipal Relations COVID-19 update for municipalities back on August 31st. 5, Auditor General Manitoba, 3 limited scope examinations stemming from citizen concerns. 6, Community Futures Parkland newsletter, that was for July and August of this year. 7, National Center for Truth and Reconciliation, Light the Country Orange for September the 30th. Number 8, Government of Canada New Regional Development Agency for Prairie Provinces. 9, Building Sustainable Communities Program 2021-22, City Hall Audio Visual System. And number 10, Canadian Beverage Container Recycling Association, that the 2020 annual report. All those as recommended by the Deputy Mayor and the City Manager. Any questions or comments there? Go ahead, Councillor Bellarmine.
One quick question. With regard to the September 30th Day of Truth and Reconciliation, which will be our first one, the news release says that provincial governments will be closed that day and schools will be closed that day. What about the City of Dauphin and businesses?
That's an excellent question. So we've been looking into that since last Friday to see if it applies for municipalities or not. Something that we're still gathering information on. It does not appear, though, that retail would be closed, but it would be business specific to owners.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll call questions. All in favor? And motion carried. Good to see you back, Councillor Juba. Hopefully your computer is now updated.
Yeah, thank you.
Moved by Councillor Reel, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that Council accepts as information the following corporate report for the September 7th regular Council meeting, that of the City Manager. Take it away, City Manager.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. It's been just over, not quite a month since our last council meeting, and other meetings have kept me quite busy in this last month. I did get a chance to take a few vacation days in there as well, and really enjoyed some family time. In terms of updates from what else I've been doing besides attending meetings, COVID is my longstanding item. There have been quite a few new public health order rules put in place since the last council meeting. So again, masks are mandated in public indoor spaces, which means that masks must be worn in City Hall in the public areas. We are continuing to allow people in City Hall with physical distancing, hand sanitizing, and assessing if they're unwell. Our meetings will continue to also be conducted in person with the option of having people attend online when necessary. And we're working through the 2 new regulations regarding vaccines for workforces and patrons. I have reached out to Dauphin Rec Services and the Public Library to see if they need any help interpreting those rules. And as of last week, I already saw that Dauphin Rec Services had their rules posted for patrons. I participated in a meeting on the afternoon of September 2nd, where the province had Dr. Denise Coe present to municipalities on some of these rules. It was a general presentation on those 2 regulations, and it became apparent very quickly that the province had more questions than answers because they did the presentation. There was a lot of specific questions regarding municipal actions and how it actually works, and the province really didn't have a lot of answers at that time. So I think that we're still need to look to the province for some guidance as they make it available. Next is Main Street South construction work. The Director of Public Works and Operations and I continue to meet monthly with Manitoba Infrastructure regarding the reconstruction of Main Street South into a 4-lane divided highway with traffic signals at the mall and service roads on either side. The city has prepared tender documents for the required drainage work that's currently open for bidding. This drainage design will be required for the final design of the highway, and we will partner with Manitoba Infrastructure to integrate that work into their construction plans. Manitoba Infrastructure continues to work on land acquisition, and we are working with them to ensure that our requirements for active transportation are supported in their design. The plan remains for construction to take place in 2022. Next is Dauphin Airport. So I've been busy tending to quite a few different things going on at the airport right now, and that's really exciting because there's been times where there's not a lot going on. So I'm happy to have some excitement out there. We did have a quarterly meeting on August 19th, so I spent a lot of time preparing and following up from that. Transport Canada will be conducting a process inspection of the airport later in September. So our manuals are all in order, and we are reviewing other aspects to ensure that the inspection goes smoothly. We'll be testing the airport's emergency plan through a tabletop exercise and mock disaster in late September and mid-October, respectively. And right now we're developing the details for that. I've been in contact with 2 different businesses regarding leased land at the airport. One has recently acquired the lease and is starting a business, and one has a current lease and is deciding whether to expand their business. And lastly, Brandon Flight Center's Dauphin Flight Training Center started operating at the beginning of August. The grand opening is this coming Saturday, September 11th, from 11:30 to 3. And I see as the information is coming through, there's a bit of an opening ceremonies at 11:30. And I believe for a minimum $20 donation, you can take a you can ride up in a plane and take a gander at what Dauphin looks like from way up top there. So it has been exciting to work with them and to get feedback from a student that's already started lessons, and they're really enjoying doing their training in Dauphin instead of having to drive to Brandon for that. The last item I'll talk about is our place branding. So we are working with the Arma Dauphin and Travel Manitoba to finalize some details of a drive-in movie event. I started seeing that on social media as well today. Council may recall that there was a free offer to put in place that was put out to all place branding participants from Travel Manitoba. So our event will take place on October 2nd at the Salo Ukraina site, top of the hill beside the hall. There will be 3 movies shown with room for approximately 100 vehicles per showing. There will be 1 movie in the afternoon, 1 in the early evening, and 1 in the late evening. Information will be coming out next week or in the coming week or so regarding the which movies, what food offerings will be there, and other activities, sponsors, and fundraising organizations, and also what public health orders need to be followed to attend. And lastly, along the same vein as the place branding, the RM of Dauphin and the City of Dauphin have been working together on the next step of our place branding process. So now that we have graphics, tagline, and some ideas of how to use those, we've put a call out to the community to find people interested to join a committee to further develop our marketing strategy and to set up how we can guide interested parties to use the brand for their marketing purpose. There is an advertisement in the September 2nd shopper. It's online at both the RM of Dauphin and City of Dauphin websites and social media channels, and I've included it in my report. So interested people who are interested in being part of this committee, they can contact the RM of Dauphin on or before September 13th. And that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Any questions or comments for the city manager? I see none, so I'll call the questions. All in favor of the report? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that the council accepts this information, the following corporate report for the September 7th regular council meeting, that of the deputy city manager. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Any opposed? No. Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Reel, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following corporate report for the September 7th regular council meeting, that of the ICT manager. Any questions or comments there? And I'll call questions again. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that the finance accounts have been examined by council and be hereby authorized and approved as follows. Check totals 28475 to 28566. That's 92 for $424,852.38. And electronic payments for August 2021, 5 of them for $180,429.62. Any questions or comments? Yes, Councillor Bellemare.
Yes, I see there is an expense for a camera for the skate park, and I understand there was a camera before. Is this an updated camera, or is there any information on that?
I'd have to look into that for you, but I can let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Do you happen to write the check number down?
No.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? No. Okay. Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the unaudited financial statements for the periods ending June 30th, 2021 and July 31st, 2021, including the general fund balance sheet and general fund income statement and utility fund balance sheet and utility fund income statement. Any questions or comments there? Call the questions. All in favor? And motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the reserve reports for June 2021 and July 2021. Any questions or comments on those reports? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Reel, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the budget variance analysis for July 2021. Any questions or comments on that one? Call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Reel. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the following protective services report for the September 7th regular council meeting of animal control. That's for August 2021. Any questions or comments there? Councillor Reel, go ahead.
Sorry, took me a minute. I just want to say that I really like this report and much easier to read. So thank you for that. I see that we had one dog bite within the city. I also see that, can you tell me, were the cats and rabbits that were, why are they in the memorial garden? Is that their ashes?
These would be cats and rabbits that were roadkill that were unfortunately found deceased, and so there is a special place to bury these cats and rabbits respectfully, according to the animal control officer.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the minutes from the following committee meetings. Number 1, the Riverside Cemetery regular board meeting for July 15th. Number 2, Fort Dauphin Museum regular board meeting back on April 7th. Profit and loss budget versus actual, that was on January 1st to August 1st, 2021. Balance sheet, previous year comparison as of August 1st, 2021, and the manager's report, April 1st to July 31st, 2021. And number 3, the Communities in Bloom regular board meeting back on July 29th of this year. Any questions or comments there? I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Right, now into the thick of things here. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Reel. Whereas on October 8th, 2019, the City of Dauphin entered into a 5-year lease agreement for the period January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2024 with the Dauphin Regional Airport Authority Incorporated for the rental of land on Lieutenant Colonel W.G. Billy Barker VC Airport property for an advertising billboard sign at a cost of $675 per year to increase annually by an amount equal to the Consumer's Price Index for Manitoba. Be it resolved that council accepts as information correspondence dated August 17th, 2021 from Charlotte Griffiths, accountable executive for Dauphin Regional Airport Authority Incorporated, advising that the DRAAI Board of Directors has decided to break the billboard lease with the City of Dauphin effective January 1st, 2022, and provide the space rent-free in the interests of fairness, given that the rural municipality of Dauphin occupies airport recycling space rent-free. Further, be it resolved that council accepts the decision of the Dauphin Regional Airport Authority Board of Directors to break the billboard lease with the City of Dauphin effective January 1st of 2022. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Eilers. Be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated September 7th, 2021 from the ICT manager advising that as per municipal tendering and procurement policy 4.2, 2 submissions were received for the redesign of the City of Dauphin's website and recommending that the contract be awarded to AllNet Municipal Solutions for a cost of $5,270 annually for 4 years, which includes support, site hosting, nightly backups, and the ability to redesign after 3 years. Further, be it resolved that council agrees with the ICT manager's recommendation and awards the contract for the City of Dauphin's website redesign and hosting and support services to AllNet Municipal Solutions for a cost of $5,270 annually for a total, I'm having a brain fart again here. What's the word? Cumulative. I know that word. There we go. One per council meeting. Cumulative cost of $23,080. Further be it resolved that council authorizes the contract between the City of Dauphin and AllNet Municipal Solutions to be signed and sealed on behalf of the City of Dauphin by the city manager. Any questions or comments? Councillor Reel, go ahead.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I'm just wondering if, did we have anybody local that applied for the tender?
No, there wasn't.
So I see they're out of Edmonton, is that correct?
So when we started negotiations with them, they were a Manitoba company, and they were out of Winnipeg. But between then and now, they've been bought out by an Edmonton company.
Okay, I know I have a design or a website for my business. I just find that 10 hours of support at that rate, to me, that's a ridiculous amount of money for 10 hours of support. The other thing is, if we redesign after 3 years, is that an additional cost to us, or is that included in the cost?
That's included in the cost.
Okay, thanks.
Any more questions or comments? Call the questions. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Reel. Whereas the City of Dauphin issued a request for proposals to provide audit services for the corporation for the 3 years ending December 31st, 2023. And whereas one proposal was received from a qualified local professional accounting firm, be it resolved that Council accepts this information, a memorandum dated August 31st, 2021 from the Director of Finance regarding the audit tender process, results, and analysis, and recommending that the audit services contract be awarded to MNP for a cost of $13,500 for 2021, $13,750 for 2022, and $14,000 for 2023. And further be it resolved that Council accepts the Director of Finance's recommendation to appoint MNP as auditor for the City of Dauphin for the 3 years ending December 31st, 2023 at the annual all-inclusive quote stipulated in their audit proposal. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Mine decided to not work. Okay, here we go. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillors. Whereas the Government of Manitoba launched a public engagement survey available on the Engage MB portal from May 21st to June 11th, 2021 to seek input for a proposed expanded grid of trade and commerce routes across the province, consisting of key north, south, and east-west routes that support Manitoba's economy by improving access for Manitoba goods to reach diverse interprovincial and international markets. Be it resolved that Council accepts this information, the Engage MB Routes, Trade and Commerce, What We Heard report, and correspondence dated August 24th, 2021 from Ron R. Schuler, Minister of Infrastructure, requesting feedback from the City of Dauphin to help the ministry plan and prioritize highway projects in Manitoba. And further be it resolved that Council authorizes the Director of Public Works and Operations to respond to the Minister of Infrastructure's engagement request to ensure Provincial Trunk Highway 10 is prioritized for any necessary upgrades to be included in the province's grid of trade and commerce routes. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Juba, seconded by Councillor Reel, whereas the Dauphin Rail Museum is hosting a Dauphin Rail 125 celebration on September 25th, 2021 to mark the anniversary of the arrival of the first train to Dauphin back on December 15th, 1896. Be it resolved that Council accepts this information as correspondence dated August 31st, 2021 from Jason Gilmore, who is the president of the Dauphin Rail Museum, noting the historical significance of the arrival of rail travel for the economic growth and development of the Parkland region, outlining the projected expenditures for the anniversary celebration totaling about $2,738 and requesting a financial contribution from the City of Dauphin of $750 to cover part of the cost of hosting this event. Further be it resolved that Council acknowledges the historical significance of the anniversary of the beginning of train travel to and from Dauphin and approves a financial contribution to the Dauphin Rail 125 celebration in the amount of $750. Any questions or comments regarding that? Go ahead, Councillor Bellemare.
I just wanted to say that I see that the Dauphin Rail Museum now has a sign on Main Street when they're open, and I think that's really cool. And apparently they've had a lot of traffic through that museum now, so that's been a good addition.
Yeah, the sandwich boards do wondrous things. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, I will call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Juba. Whereas United Way Brandon District currently serves Brandon, Kemnay, Alexander, Shiloh, Douglas, and the rural municipalities of Cornwallis, Elton, and Whitehead. So therefore, during times of natural disaster, including drought, or a pandemic, United Way funding does not extend to many of the rural communities in Western Manitoba. Be it resolved that Council accepts this information correspondence dated August 9th, 2021 from Cinnamon Michescu, Chief Executive Officer for United Way Brandon District, requesting that the City of Dauphin provide a letter to United Way Canada supporting UW Brandon's interest in expanding its funding territory to cover all of Western Manitoba from Swan River south to the United States border and from the Saskatchewan border east to Highway 5 to then become the United Way of Brandon and rural Western Manitoba. Further be it resolved that Council appreciates the services and funding provided by the United Way in times of hardship due to natural disaster or a pandemic and authorizes administration to provide a letter supporting United Way Brandon District's application to the national office to expand their territory to allow them to bring services and programming to a greater number of rural communities in Manitoba. Any questions or comments? Councillor Bellemare.
Yes, so if this moves forward, would then there be a United Way campaign in Dauphin to support the work of this? And if so, I know there used to be a United Way in Dauphin years ago, and that went by the wayside. So just trying to figure out what exactly this resolution means.
I can speak a bit to that. So I think what the United Way wants to do is be able to solicit donations from outside of the current areas so that they can then put that money back into the communities, and then they can provide the support. So it is by passing the resolution saying that the City of Dauphin is in support. If they set up here, then we'll have that charity as an option.
Councillor Eilers.
I was going to say that they used to have children going with the United Way, and there was nothing administered here in the way of donations and stuff, and I think it fell by the wayside. And I believe there was a couple of community members that were involved with it, and I'm not sure, but I think there was also with the school board as well. So yeah, quite a few years ago. I'm going to say at least 15, maybe more years ago. So there was some controversy, and I think what happened too is someone went around and collected and was not a bona fide So there was some problems there. But I think it's a very worthwhile. United Way and communities that I know have done a lot of things. And I think this comes along the line of Red Cross and a lot of the other agencies that help people in need.
Any more questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Reel, seconded by Councillor Bellemare. Whereas the Municipal Act Clause 94(1) states a member of a council is disqualified from council if he or she is absent for the full duration of 3 consecutive meetings, unless the absences are with the leave of the council granted by a resolution passed at any of the 3 meetings, a prior meeting, or the next meeting following the 3rd absence. Be it resolved that council accepts as information a memorandum dated September 1st, 2021 from the city manager advising that Mayor Alan Dohan has requested permission to be absent from council for the consecutive regular council meetings of July 12th, August 9th, and September 7th, 2021. Further be it resolved that council grants Mayor Dohan's request for leave from 3 consecutive regular council meetings covering the dates noted above. Any questions or comments? Seeing all the questions, all in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Eilers, seconded by Councillor Juba. Be it resolved that bylaw 07/2021 being a bylaw of the City of Dauphin to amend zoning plan 04/2015, part of the 100 Cruz Crescent, be now read a first time. Questions or comments there? Call those questions. All in favor? Motion carried. Moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Reel. Be it resolved that council accepts as information the invitations and event listed below. Invitations, number 1, Dr. Vernon L. Watson bust unveiling. That's of September 16th in 2021. Number 2, the Association of Manitoba Municipalities City Caucus meeting on September 22nd. Number 3, Canadian Mental Health Association Annual General Meeting on September 23rd. That's a virtual event. Number 4, the Dauphin Rail Museum's 125th celebration happening on September 25th. Number 5 is the Federation of Canadian Municipalities 2021 Sustainable Communities Conference. That's happening October 19th to the 21st of this year. That is virtual as well. Number 6, the 2021 Association of Manitoba Municipalities Convention. That's November 22nd and 23rd of this year. That one in person. And number 7, Dauphin Neighborhood Renewal Corporation Annual General Meeting for the September 10th of 2021. And lastly, community events. Dauphin Flight Training Center grand opening happening on Saturday, September 11th. Looking forward to that one. Any questions or comments there? Seeing none, I'll call the questions. All in favor? Motion carried. All right, on to councillor privileges. Today we will start online. Councillor Juba, who is ecstatic that the Bombers won over the weekend, take her away.
You're going to do it again, just for good measure. Thank you, Deputy Mayor Loughlin. On August 9th, I attended a regular City Council meeting at City Hall. August the 10th, I attended Workplace Safety and Health Committee meeting at City Hall. August the 19th, attended Dauphin and Regional Airport Authority Committee meeting via Zoom. August the 20th, hang on here. August 23rd, I attended the Planning and Priorities meeting at City Hall. On the 24th, also at City Hall, Protective Services meeting. August the 24th, I stayed after the Protective Services meeting. I attended the flag ceremony at City Hall for the 30th anniversary of the Ukrainian independence. And I also was down at the Canada's National Ukrainian Festival office earlier in the day. It supported a very tasty Kuba burger. It rhymes with Juba, so I thought I'd have one of those. So, and it was a well-attended event. I believe on September the 25th, they're having a street Zabava there. So on September the 25th, come on out and support the Ukrainian festival. And that's a good sign that our community is opening up post-COVID. We're doing it very carefully and cautiously. And so come on out and support the Ukrainian festival and meet and mingle with your friends. Some community events. August the 10th, I attended a Speak Up Parkland Toastmasters meeting via Zoom. On the 24th, I mentioned the barbecue already. And August the 25th, I attended the Firefighters Appreciation Award Night at the Firefighters Hall. It was a great to recognize the acknowledgement of all the fine firefighters in our community. It was great to see again people that perhaps haven't seen for quite some time due to COVID. And our firefighters clean up nice when they're dressed up in their official suits. Anyways, moving on, I just wanted to congratulate the Dauphin Airport Authority and the Dauphin Flight Learning Center operated by the Brandon Flying Club on their grand opening on Saturday, September the 11th. Unfortunately, I cannot attend. Being a board member, I would have liked to be there, but due to circumstances beyond my control, I won't be able to attend. So I just wanted to take my time to congratulate everyone concerned, and the executive director of the airport is our one and only Charlotte Griffiths, and she should be proud of that accomplishment as well. We're working with the board to get the flight training school is an accomplishment for the airport. It was something that was in the mix for a long time, and it came to fruition. So congratulations to John and Lindsay Piesta on the birth of their daughter, and I would like to pass my personal condolences on to the Cooper family on the loss of my good friend Ken Cooper. Ken was very instrumental with the Barbershoppers for a number of years, and he provided a lot of his expertise in electrical for lighting the shows, and he even sang a few tunes with us over the years. So anyways, that is my report. Back to you, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Juba. We'll move to my left now, Councillor Eilers.
Thank you. August 9th, of course, City Council meeting in person. August 19th, Communities in Bloom meeting. The committee and myself distributed door knockers to many residents during the latter part of August and beginning of September. So if you got something that looks like this, that means that your neighbors and all of the Communities in Bloom committee really appreciate your yard. That's it's basically to recognize the front yards. I had some people wanting me to look in their backyards for this, but anyway, it is just to recognize all those that have great curb appeal. And I'd really like to thank the residents for their extra efforts in making our community look great. The other thing I wanted to mention is that we've got a weed steamer that was purchased this year, and we will be able to control the weeds by steaming, and those especially in sidewalks, boulevards, and green spaces. So we've had a few trials, and we will have staffing for it starting next year. This kind of arrived at the latter part of the summer. And we did some trials, and the need to start at earlier stages. The wonderful thing about this is there'll be no chemicals used. So I think that's always a real bonus, because everybody's always concerned about, the chemicals and control. It seems to appear to work really good, so I'm quite excited about that, and so are other people. And I'd like to thank the people who brought this to my attention and who went out and cut them with their lawnmowers while they're doing their yard. So I appreciate that. August 23rd, Planning and Priority meeting. And on August 25th, there was, of course, congratulations to our long-serving firefighters and to the fire department for keeping our community safe. I was unable to attend due to family concern that kind of arrived at the last minute, but I really think that you do a wonderful job for keeping our community safe. I want to offer condolences to Gordon Riz's family. Gordon was very involved in various local businesses and did community activities, Kinsman Club, the Knights of Columbus, Dauphin and District Community Foundation, as well as the school board, just to mention a few. And also condolences to Ken Cooper's family. Joanna sits on our Communities in Bloom team, and Ken ran an appliance repair store for many years. He was involved in many community organizations and always asked to tweak a few things as we were doing different functions. He was involved with the Watson Arts Center, the Ag Society, just to mention a few. And condolences to Lauren Chura's family. Again, Lauren ran a heating and plumbing service for many years in this community, and he was always willing to help. And I just encourage everybody to stay safe and be kind. And that ends my report.
Thank you, Councillor Eilers. Councillor Bellemare.
Thank you. Council work completed since the last council meeting on August the 9th. Excuse me. On August the 11th, I attended the Dauphin and Area Welcoming Communities Coalition meeting. And recent immigrants to our region have now formed an advisory committee, and we received our first report from that committee. On August the 14th, I attended the Manitoba Métis Federation Northwest Council regional meeting and brought greetings on behalf of the city. And due to the COVID precautions, and several representatives were attending virtually and several were attending in person, they reviewed reports and had several items to debate and vote on as they planned the work of their government. MMF President David Chartrand was in attendance and spoke to the crowd. On August the 18th, I attended the RM Liaison meeting, and stay tuned for more information on the movie night being held on October 2nd, and I gather that's been released on social media today. August 22nd, I attended the Treaty 2 celebration at Wasagaming in honor of the 150-year anniversary of the signing of Treaty 2. I brought greetings on behalf of the city, and I received a replica treaty medallion, which has Queen Victoria on one side and has the two people on the other side, very beautiful. Interestingly, there's only one of the original 9 that is still in circulation, and it's now been passed to the 7th generation of the Woodhouse family. On August 23rd, I attended a Strategic Planning and Priorities Committee meeting, and the following day, Protective Services Committee meeting. We met with Staff Sergeant Campbell of our local RCMP to discuss several items about policing in our community. A reminder to call the RCMP to report incidences that have occurred, even spray painting and other vandalism. Information about community happenings is valuable to our police force. And August 25th, since the Fireman's Ball won't be happening in this fall, a new style of award ceremony was held right in the fire hall, in amongst all the equipment. The members of our fire department are a dedicated and well-trained group, and it's gratifying to see their service being honored. Several were honored for long service, like 25 and 35 and 45 years of service. It was pretty amazing. Plus, Firefighter of the Year, Justin Barsuski, was honored for going above and beyond. And a large group of newcomers completed their level 1 of training, and several more completed the many hours for level 2. So that speaks very well for the future of our fire department. So thank you to all members for your service. September 1st, an Employee Relations Committee. We reviewed a job description for an upcoming advertisement, plus discussed some staffing items. And kudos, tomorrow is the first day of school for students. A big thank you to all the teachers and school staff who have been working hard to prepare the classrooms for the return of students. Best wishes for a safe and successful year of learning. And sending out get well wishes to Mayor Dohan. Please know I'm thinking of you and wishing you all the best. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Bellemare. Councillor Reel.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor Loughlin. Seems like long ago, August 9th, I attended the regular council meeting here at City Hall. I was then on holidays from, I think, the 10th until the 21st, seeing my older boys in Alberta. It was a long overdue visit of 2+ years. Enjoyed that. I came back for the PNP meeting on August 23rd. August 24th, we had a protective services meeting, as Councillor Bellemare said, here at City Hall. Again, please ensure that you contact the RCMP. If they don't know what's happening, they cannot help. I would like to thank them for their the incident that was on Main Street on Friday. They resolved it with no injuries, and so kudos to them for that. On August 24th as well, despite being a vegetarian, I attended the CNUF fundraising barbecue for a Cuba burger. I donated it to my son. He greatly appreciated it. I also attended on the 25th, again, to our firefighters appreciation night, the unbelievable dedication of a wonderful group of men and women. So thank you for all that they do. I believe Communities in Bloom missed my yard. I never got a door knocker in my mailbox. And the other thing I would just like to add that being a business owner in the community, I just want to reiterate our city manager's, some of the things she said. With the new restrictions, it has been an endless effort to try and get answers in regards to staffing and what the new restrictions mean. Also, many endless hours on the phone and in person with businesses in our community who are just devastated by some of the restrictions that are coming out, and the segregation that it's doing amongst families and businesses. So I would just like to remind everybody that this is not something that our local business owners really have control over. Please be kind. Let's remember that a lot of them were closed for 8 months. People are still trying to catch up from the closures. And thank you for your kindness. And therein ends my report.
Thank you, Councillor Reel. For myself, August 9th, regular council meeting in person here at City Hall. On the 13th, I worked with Grow Media to help promote the Dauphin and District Community Foundation, along with the Kingsway Trail, which is located just behind us here at City Hall on First Avenue Southeast. You can check out that video on the foundation's Facebook page. And just when it comes to the path itself, the Kingsway Trail, continue to hear nothing but good things about it. Really looking forward to working and moving forward with the active transportation system we have in this community. On August 18th, I attended the RM liaison meeting here at City Hall. In case you missed it, as Councillor Bellemare mentioned, the RM announced the free drive-in movie event. That's happening October 2nd at the Upper Camping at the SLAW site. So you can go, I believe, to the RM's Facebook page for more details there. But a lot of people shared the event page too. So looking forward to that. On August 19th, Communities in Bloom meeting here at City Hall. Councillor Reel, Councillor Eilers just discussed quickly there who it was to blame for your yard not getting a card. That would be Wes Carnegie at Dauphin Rec Services. So you can talk to Wes at any time. August 20th, I helped raise the Treaty 2 flag as part of their 150th celebrations. Thank you to those representatives from Treaty 2 that made the trip up from Wasagaming to help be a part of that. And obviously, Councillor Bellemare talked about those celebrations down at the Clear Lake area throughout the weekend. It was very, very, very well done. I'm hearing from a lot of people. And thanks to Councillor Bellemare for attending that as well. On August 23rd, the Strategic Planning and Priorities meeting here at City Hall. On the 24th, I attended the Protective Services meeting here at City Hall. Also on the 24th, I helped raise the Ukrainian flag here at City Hall to help celebrate Ukraine's 30th year of independence. Then right after that, I attended the CNUF barbecue, had myself a Cuba burger. That was really good as well. Yeah, so make sure you support CNUF, another great group inside our great community. The next day, August 25th, Dauphin Rec Services Board meeting. Then that was followed by an active transportation meeting here at City Hall. And then later in the evening, I attended the Dauphin Fire Department Awards Night. That, of course, at the fire department. As mentioned by a number of councilors so far, thank you, you guys and gals, for all you do in our community. And obviously, congratulations to all the winners on the evening. And lastly, on September 1st, I attended an employee relations meeting here at City Hall. And that ends my report. And with that being said, moved by Councillor Bellemare, seconded by Councillor Juba, be it resolved that the council meeting be recessed at 5:58